It has taken me a long time before I started doing this, but you know, better late than never. I'd wanted to share these stories, and usually I give the excuse of time because I have to go to work, I have to take care of my kids, I have to do everything, I have to go everywhere, I have to go to work. But all the same, all said and done, at least now it's going down. Thank you so much. So this is registered nurse Richard Ogachi. Registered nurse Richard Ogachi. Remember the subject today, we're gonna talk about communication and language. And immigrant nurse to the US, different culture, different people, different communication, different weather. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is what I don't like about the US. The weather, the cold weather especially, man. This is crazy. I feel so stressed. I don't feel good, but you know, one of the reasons why we moved to the US, when I asked my wife what is she looking forward to see or to experience in the US, she said the seasons. She said the seasons. She wanted to experience the winter. I had never experienced winter in my whole life. Never experienced the kind of summer that is here. The spring, we don't have spring, we don't have fall. But all the same, it's interesting. It's interesting life experiences. So what we decided as a family and as myself is never complain. When it's winter, it's winter. What are you gonna do? Are you going to stop the snow? You can't stop the snow. The snow is going down, you like it or not. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't come. It doesn't come as much as it does in the north. When you go to the beautiful Minnesota, when you go to the beautiful South and North Dakota, Wisconsin, New York City, the snow is crazy. The winter is crazy. The freezing temperatures, very stressful. And so my skin during the winter itches all the time. I don't know why, but you know. And then the black skin with winter, if you don't lotion it or put some Vaseline on it, oh my goodness, it looks like crazy. It looks like just too dry. But you know, we endure, and you know, it's always said that you you don't choose what happens to you, but you choose how you handle what happens to you. You choose how you react what happens to you. So today I'm gonna talk about language and communication. So, and this is in the hospital context. So in the hospital, communication is so key. It's so important. You have to communicate. Like, you have to talk to people. It's not like this experience I had in the factory. In the factory, you don't have to talk to people. They know the expectation. If it's sending, you get your station, and you have machines that you're using, and you just keep moving. You don't have to talk to anybody. But in a hospital, you have to talk. You have to give report. You have to give. You have to talk to the doctors, and more importantly, also you have to talk to the patients. And if there is no effective communication between the nurse and the patient, then of course there is going to be frustration from both ends, and you will not be able to take care of the patient, and even to know what the patient needs really. So then I was just checking on my phone because I've left the Wi-Fi coverage zone. But anyways, it's still gonna record this video. So my communication problem started when I was doing my driving test. There is the written exam and then the skills exam. So it was in Minnesota actually, and I had problems like to understand and hear what my instructors were saying. That was the very first time that I interacted with people from the US like closely, and we're having conversation. Like he has to give me instructions like, okay, when you go, please, you're doing a skills exam. This is the requirement. You are given. You come with your vehicle, and the instructor comes in, and then he tells you, let's go. He gives you directions where you go, and I think those people, because it was a new place for me, I didn't know the roads. What meant that was that even the kind of driving you are driving, I actually failed that exam the first time. The kind of instructions that you get when you're driving on the left, by the way, even, man, it was so it was so crazy. When you're keeping on the left, I already had that mindset that you're driving on the right. So I had to like remember all the time to keep left, keep or keep right. You see? You see, keep right. The steering is on the left, you keep right. So that guy, the instructors gave me instructions, and then let's keep moving. So the fact that I have to, because of the pressure, I had been driving for a long time, for many years in Kenya. So the fact that I have to remember also to keep right, that also was also confusing. So in the midst of trying to remember to keep right, and then you're also supposed to remember that you can turn on red, or there's also turn on red, which I also started confusing. So I could rather just wait for it to turn green for me to go before I got used initially. So then this instructor, you know, the way they speak fast, and they also say that we speak fast. I don't know how. I think we speak so slow. And then most of them confuse my accent as being Jamaican. I don't know, the Jamaican accent is so different too. Like I feel like Jamaican accent, they speak so fast and like rhyming with some kind of accent. I don't know if there are different dialects in Jamaica anyways, maybe. But they think that we speak so fast. I don't think I speak fast. But what happened is this. So I ended up failing the exam anyways, because of course I was not understanding exactly, like vividly, like the words he was using, because he's speaking like so fast. It was crazy. Anyways, now in the hospital, it turned out to be chaotic, because, and apparently even the hospital I worked for before, I was mostly the only immigrant in the hospital. So that means I was like, there was problem in communicating with the staff, because they also like think I speak fast. I have to speak like really slow. This problem was all over. Even my friends from church was the same problem. Like I remember my good friend Tim, don't tell him that. He noticed that I was saying vegetables. You know, vegetables. Is it vegetable? Which is the right one? Which is the right one by them is vegetables. It's vegetables. And I was saying vegetables. Vegetables. By the way, I speak English with Kisii accent. I speak English with Ekekusi accent and Kiswahili accent, and maybe other languages accent, you know. I actually, by American standards, I'm not able to pronounce my name correctly. I'm supposed to pronounce I'm supposed to say almost all my patients, they have to ask me to pronounce my name 2 times. Like, I go to a patient room and they say, my name is Richard. What did he say? What did he say? They always have to ask that. They always have to say that. What did you say? I said, my name is Richard. Sometimes I have to write. So it was so chaotic that now now it was more chaotic when I was calling report. When they were calling report, maybe giving report to somebody else who is not where some of them would, I don't think they would even understand. They would just say, okay, let the patient come, we will read the notes and see what's going on. The same way, by the way, some of the girls who were giving me report on phone, patient report from ED, even now, but now at least I understand and I hear, at least I'm able to hear everything. They talk, and some of them, by the way, I think some of the crazy cheeky ones, they want to shine. They want to shine and even confuse you more. They want to shine and confuse you more because they are so fast. So I'm like, what? What are they talking about? They're talking so fast. And by the way, so my assumption was initially, by the way, when I came to the US, I thought maybe because everyone speaks English, and by me, everyone speaks good English. I mean, that's their first language anyways. So you expect that everyone, they are good at it. But I came to realize that even here, even Americans have accents from north, some from south. I don't know, it's kind of different. They pronounce words, and some of the words they use are different. They have different vocabulary. Like some of them call soda, Coca-Cola, they call it pop. Coke. Even how Coke is pronounced also, I realize they don't get what I'm saying. Like Coke, open happiness, please. Coke. So most of these words, when I pronounce them, I have to repeat myself. I have to repeat the words. I have to say it more than once for them to understand. So I'm so used to repeating. I've gotten used to repeating because then that's how we get to understand each other. Friends of mine, it took me a long time before they could hear what I'm saying. And sometimes even now they ask that I repeat. I don't know, I thought maybe it's clear, but you see, they also used to it English, spoken English accent, and how they pronounce words, how they use. They actually, I think they communicate mostly using idioms. They use idioms in the most part. So many times when I talk to people, they talk using idioms a lot. So when my good friend Bob, we've done a lot together, but I never used to understand him because he's from the south, and even how he pronounces, I didn't know. You know, he's from Arkansas. Even how I pronounce that, Arkansas is not pronounced like that. He pronounces it Arkansas. Arkansas. Man, it's crazy. But you know what is even surprising? My kids pronounce those words the same way they do. I don't know how they got it, because they've never pronounced those words. They never. I think your environment is so important, and sometimes you tap into the energy and understand things by default, by the fact that you're there. This is how I think mostly we understand the languages, like the different dialects. If you live with Kikuyus, for example, you live with Kisis, you speak with them. The fact that you are in that space, if you're intentional enough, you can very much understand and get to know to speak Kisii language. So what was even surprising me about this communication and language was I used to ask myself, if all Americans speak English, so then how do they decide who becomes like radio presenters, who becomes the TV presenters, who is how did they decide that Richard Quest, because everyone speaks English, you don't expect, I just give this analogy usually, if I speak Kisii, then I know so good Kisii, by the way. I know how to speak Kisii very fluently, and I think everybody else does. But how do we decide who becomes a Kisii radio presenter? You know, whatever characteristic or attributes they're looking for. So if all Americans are speaking so good English, how do they decide who becomes the presenter of Fox News, who goes to CNN, who goes to ABC, who says what, you know? But in the most part, is it, I don't know what type of English, because it's English, you know, there's slang, there's how they use words, there's how they pronounce words. So anyway, so when I was working with some of the guys who now started bringing conversations around slang, and how sometimes, at times when you are with people, they tend to teach you the bad things. Like when I was in nursing school, a friend of mine, don't tell him this please, Ngao, Ngao, who speaks a different dialect from mine, he started teaching me not good words, very like the bad words of his language, and he sent me to go tell the girls like some words which I remember even today, but I don't want to say. He sent me to go and say, so bad words really. So when I met some of the, of course, cheeky guys, they want to like teach me the bad words, and I don't know what it means. So when I went to talk to them, they told me, you know, there's some titles that are given to people, country people, like country, those who are living in the farm. They are called the hillbillies. Even how I pronounce it also is a problem, because my friend also cannot understand when I say the hillbillies, he doesn't know what he doesn't hear what I'm saying, you know. It's amazing how God confused us. But so he talks about hillbillies, and I told him that when he explained to me what a hillbilly means, I thought I'm also a hillbilly, because I kind of like have the same features, like that's how I grew up. I grew up in the farm, or in the country place where we used to take care of cows, chickens, goats, and we used to milk cows. By the way, I even know that skill is permanent. When you know how to milk cows using your hands, that skill is permanent. I still can milk cows today. So, and in fact, our parents taught us, including my kids, I know all of them know how to milk cows. They know that. Those are basic skills to learn, like to cook and to milk, and to till the land and use the hose to dig. They all know that. You don't forget those. You don't lose those skills. So when they told me the hillbillies, then a description they gave me looked like, I don't know what it means, by the way. By their explanation, I think that description was describing me, like how I grew up in the farm. Like mostly we didn't even buy most of the food. We used to plant maize or corn. We used to plant and produce vegetables. We used to produce tomato, onions. Nobody used to buy where I grew up. Until today, people still like have kitchen gardens. They produce their own produce, farm produce. The only thing you need to buy is maybe processed food like sugar, you buy bread and such kind of stuff. But so they told me like, oh, that description looks like a hillbilly, my brother. So I thought I'm a black hillbilly. So so then also they used to say that they are also like hickeys. I don't know what that means though. They tried to explain to me, I could not understand. They are hickeys. They are hickeys, just like the ones. Another guy I worked with in the factory used to say, you know, I am a redneck. You know, I'm redneck. I don't know what that means, by the way. So redneck, by my understanding was, when I told me he's a redneck, he's white. So then he has redneck. So then I told him, I'm black neck too. And we kept laughing. We kept laughing. The guy, they broke into tears. They were breaking their ribs, laughing. I don't know what that means, but you know, that confusion and you don't understand the other person. You don't know, like when you talk and when you say some things. Even today, by the way, it's a whole confusion. It's a whole some things you don't understand, some you do understand. But at least what helped me a lot was repeating myself, pronouncing those words again and again. And so when I moved to a different hospital, I realized also, that's when now I came to understand clearly, like, this is a universal problem and it's a beauty of human beings. It's so beautiful to be human, and then different dialects, different people. So when I moved to a bigger hospital, man, that's where I met the creme de la crema, the mixture, the melting pot, they say. Everybody from everywhere in the world, they work in the hospital. Some from Haiti, people from Jordan, people from North Africa, Egypt, people from Jordan, Egypt, which other, some countries in Nicaragua, Venezuelans. Those also speak with different dialects. And man, I actually also don't understand them. They speak English, but I don't also understand them. Like, it's so difficult to understand them. Sometimes, at times when they give me, now it's even easier to understand English speaking people or Americans than now people from, like, maybe Egypt, West Africa, those who have deep accent with their specific dialects. Oh my, it's so crazy, it's so unbelievably confusing. But you know, we are all blessed by the Almighty God. The God created this beautiful, different culture, different people. But you know, it's what it is. Be happy and just talk, speak with your own accent. Just get going at work, and nobody cares anyways. Bye. See you next time, guys. See you next time. See you next time. See ya.